Hi, good afternoon, good evening, how y'all are doing? Yeah, it's a kind of weird time for me to do a live, but nevertheless, I'm here because there was something in my thought that so I said to myself, I just gotta do this live. And 'cause normally on the weekend I would do the lives, but I kind of like stop a little bit. But I said, let me come on and do this one. This is just a thought, and you don't have to agree with it, but it's just something that dropped in my spirit today. So remember when as children, when we was growing up and stuff, we have our parents. We had our parents, and our parents would instill in us good values. Some of us who are fortunate enough to have our parents around to instill those good values and guide us along and give us the word of encouragement for us to keep going, for us to excel, for us to pray, for us to watch our mannerism, how to navigate through life from childhood, growing up into teenage years, into adulthood. Right? For those who are fortunate enough to have our parents still with us as we get older, in our 40s, 50s, and our parents are still there, and they're still giving us that food, that nurturing, that counseling, that, words of encouragement that will help us along the way. That is such a great appreciation, for those of us. And, I lost my mom at 15. So I had to figure out things on my own. And I didn't have it all together at the time. I made some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors, but I'm glad for those mistakes. I'm glad for whatever took place, because now I'm able to see things better, right? Now I'm able to navigate things through. Now I'm able to, move accordingly and also carry those same values with me and let my children, my two daughters, know, hey, so and so is the case. This is how it had to be. This is how it had to go. It may not be what they want to hear, but at the end of the day, this is what I know. And I know it to be the right thing, but sometimes as parents, we instill in our kids the proper thing. They may not want to hear it, but after a while, sooner or later, they will say, Mom, you're right. Mom, you're this. Mom, you're that. Dad, you're right. Daddy, this. Because we have been through stuff, right? And I just want to know, with some cases, why it doesn't linger in us as adults. What pattern or what changed the course of our direction? What changed the course of our vision? Because we listen to the words of our parents. Whether you had a parent, mother, father, guardian, aunt, uncle, grandparents, whoever, a foster parent, it could be anybody who instilled that positivity in you. It could be anybody who showed you the way, who told you which way to go, how to move, how to navigate, right? So whichever way you were brought up, somebody instilled something in your life to persevere, to move forward, to grow, to, be the best version of self, right? And it lingered. And sometimes we grasp at it. Sometimes we don't, right? So growing up, I know that even though I made my mistakes, I know that I had to change something. I had to flip the script. I had to do something in order to be better, in order to grow, in order to rise, in order to accomplish, in order to start pushing, in order to start, you know, doing the things that will be positive for me and for my children, right? Even my granddaughter, I still do. I talk to her. I speak good things unto her. I instill the qualities that I know that I was given. I pass it down to them, my children and granddaughter. So, in other words, sometimes we falter, but we always have to get back. Get back to the words of encouragement. Get back to the things that we once learned, we once know about. Because this world will throw you off so far that you will not even know how to grab onto that vine or grab onto those words that you learned and you know about. So you always have to have those words in your heart, in your spirit, because it helps you along the way. It helps you through life. It helps you through something that you may be dealing with. So you will remember, hey, this is what happened. This is what I was told. And you will instill it in your situation, in whatever you're going through, in your dreams, in your goals. You will always try your best to make sure that these words live with you, because it was passed down, it was handed down, it was carried with you for so much of a time. You understand? A time period, a frame in your life, you know? And I'm getting to my point. The world can sometimes deter us on that walk, right? The world can sometimes deter us on that walk. Because we get caught up. We get caught up in the things that unnecessary stuff, and somehow we don't even know how we got into it. Somehow we don't know how we got ourselves in this mess. You know, things happen so subtle and we don't know, and somehow we tend to lose the values of life, the values of what was instilled in us. For those who have held on to those values, kudos to you. But for those who have lost the values and got caught up in the world system with the attitude, the anger, the bitterness, get back into the values, get back into the things that was once instilled in you as a child, from your parent, from your guardian, from your grandparent, from whoever raised you. Because these things, once you have those values in your heart, your spirit, your soul, your mind, you will carry it through your life. You will know how to choose relationships. You will know how to choose friendship. You will know how to be in the workplace. You will know these things, right? And it's not a matter of following friends, you know. You have to know. You have to differentiate the good friends, the bad friends, the ones that is there for you, the ones that is uplifting you, the ones that will carry you through, not the ones that will say, okay, I am at this point, I am at this level. You cannot come up to my standard. I don't see you rising to my standard. No, we don't want people like that. We don't want people like that. Because once you are cleansing, once you are clearing your mind to be the better version of self, and you want these values to incorporate your lifestyle, incorporate who you are, because at the end of the day, you are fighting for self. Self is always battling, like I always say. Self is always battling. And we always try to be the best version of self. Although sometimes it could be challenging, right? So sometimes, especially with women, we fight down each other, we belittle each other, we bully each other, even in the workplace, even in the workplace. You might have a supervisor, you may have a boss, you may have a co-worker who runs and carry news. You may have all these things going on. And what does that prove? What does that prove? What does it do for that person? The person running carrying news to the boss comes down on you. And because it comes like it having you like in a box. You don't know if to move left or right because, oh, that person is going to see me, that person. Where did the values went wrong with that person? Because I'm sure they got values. I am sure they had values. Somebody taught them something, how to be as a woman, right? And jealousy and envy is the biggest problem. Why we jealous each other? Why we envy? Why we fight each other? For what? We all are women, even men, even children, right? We all are in this life together. Nobody has a magic wand to say, okay, let me do this and disappear from here and end up in the next place, that I wouldn't have to go through this. No, we have to face it. So why are we fighting? Why are we belittling? Why are we trying to bring down another woman when we came from a woman? We came from a woman, a womb. We came from a well that was protecting us, that was feeding us. All that strength, all that stuff that the mother went through to nurture and make sure that this baby is safe in this well with the protection of God. Making sure that the baby get the right nutrients to live for 9 months. Even overdue. Even premature. So we are fighting to keep the well, this sacred being, this holy being, because you are holy, you're beautiful. God created you. And you come into this world with the values that the mother instilled in you. She gave her heart, her soul to you. She told you the rights and the wrongs, the mother, the father, the guardian, whoever. But yet still, you choose to go another way. You choose to show another side. And it's not only women, it's men too. It's like a competition. It's like to compete for the prize, the trophy, you know? And it's like, is it worth doing all of that? Is it worth doing all of that to bring down someone, to double tag or double team against someone? And it may not only be in the workplace. It could be within family. It could be within friends. Sometimes I just shake my head, you know, because it is so toxic. Toxic. You come from the Caribbean, you're working amongst Americans. Oh, the Caribbean people come to take away your job. It's all this nonsense you ought to be hearing. I hear it. You know, you're good at what you do. Why not respect the person for what they do? They are good at what they do. Respect them. We work together. You have to work together. It's not a matter of culture or not a matter of where you come from. As women, as men, you know, you're doing things together to elevate. You're doing the things together to uplift the company, to get things done. You understand? And this is what it's about. It's not about competing. It's not about carrying news. It's not about making you feel good or you're feeling good because you're carrying news or as they say, kissing ass and all these crazy stuff that people do to be validated. And the one who is working, the one who is doing Whether they're doing or not, they have that stature of humanity, of humbleness, of kindness. They're bringing that person down. They're bringing that person down. Because somebody is always ready to pinpoint your faults, and they're not even looking at themselves. They're not looking at themselves, but they're quick to point at you. They're quick to say, oh, look at her. She feels that. But yet still, within themselves, they feel that they are a hero. They feel that they're great and everything is nice and everything is good with them. But you are carrying such low self-esteem about yourself, because if you think that you have to do what you have to do to find your way or to get your way, then that don't make any sense. That is just going to cause pain and heartache in the end. And a lot of it happens. A lot of it happens. Especially for women. I'm more stressing on the woman, because I don't know why we always fight against each other, and you may not have nothing, you may not even have all the qualifications and stuff, but because of your light and your humbleness and because of who you are and who you represent of self, people jealous and envy you because of that, and they can't stand your light because you're so goody two shoes and you're always willing and helpful and kind. But why? Why not be goody two shoes? Why not be kind? Why not be humble? Why? Why should you want to change your theme, your colors, your joy? Why should you want to change your life around to please who? Them? Because they say things about you, so you're trying to be like them, so they wouldn't say nothing about you. You're trying to be goody two shoes with them, so they wouldn't say anything about you. You're trying to kiss ass or do whatever you have to do, so they wouldn't say anything about you. No. You don't have to change who you are. The same values that you grew up with, the same values that was handed down to you. It's instilled in you. So you hold on to that dearly and you go with it wherever you go. Let that resonate in your soul and your spirit. Let it resonate in you. It's going to be challenging, but hey, God brought you this far. He's not going to leave you. He sees the trial, and sometimes these are testing for you to see how strong you are, to see how deeper you are in Him, to see how you're going to grow, how you're going to move forward, you know? It's always a battlefield where the mind is concerned. It's all over the place. You know, all over the place. The only person that can make it happen for self is you. The only person can direct and redirect the focus of where you're going is you. The only person who have the values that they know, that they grew up with, that they want, is you. Nobody is going to do it for you. You have to really sit down and self-examine self. Really sit down and examine self. Because sometimes self gets lost. Self doesn't know what self is doing. Gotta like snap out of it and pull self back. Pull self back to the reality of things, into the real world of your journey, of where you're going. You're going to meet the likes, you're going to meet the dislikes. You're going to meet the ones that is for you, the ones that is against you. You're going to meet the ones to encourage you and the ones to bring you down. Because the ones who trying to hurt you and bring you down, their connection got lost somewhere growing up. Their connection was detached somewhere. So they have to go back in time. They have to go back in self and see where the loss came from, to see where the detachment came from, and try to figure it out and mend it. But that is if they want it, because some people are so caught up in that kind of way of being who they are. They don't want to change. They are constantly battling and fighting down people, throwing down people, bullying people, saying things about people, shoo-shooing about people, carrying news on people, because it came like their food. They are festered in it. So they eat that food every single day, whether on the workplace, whether with the family, whether with friends, because that is how they are. And will they get out of it? Some people do. Because at one point in time, they will look in self and say, but I don't really like the person that I am. I want to change. I want to turn this around. I want to be different. For those who want to be different, you can. For those who want to stay, well, may God continue to be with you, and somewhere down the line, pray and hope that you find your focus. Pray and hope that you find the right road to navigate, to go. Because all this shoo-shooing, carry news, all of that, whether in the workplace, with friends, family, there is always an end, because nothing lasts forever. So if you're in a situation and you're dealing with that, hey, just know to yourself that one day it will end. Everything must come to an end. It's not going to go on forever. Just keep telling yourself it's not going to go on forever. Because you may not be in the same position. You may not be in the same place. You may not be dealing with the same people. You may move on to the next, and that next will be your greatest, best thing. That next could be the opening door. That next could be what you're waiting for. And if you have to stay there for a while, pray. Give it to God. He will fight your battle. You don't have to say anything. You just keep composing yourself, keep holding on to the values that you know, that you were brought up. Don't try to transform yourself to be liked by those people. No, no. Don't join them in their game, because that is a dirty game. Maybe if I change up and if I go, be like them, maybe they will like me more and appreciate more, because right now they don't like me and appreciate me, and they don't see my value, and then, hey, stop. Just stop. Maybe if I do this, and if I carry news, if I start a point finger, and if I why change your perspective of who you are to be like them? No. It's not going to work. You might think it worked for a while, but when you see the mess that you're getting yourself involved in, you're going to want to back out, but it might be too late. So you try not to get caught up. Let them say what they have to say. Let them double tag or whatever they want to do against you. You serve a God that is real, a God that sees all things. A God that is there. He never fails. He never fails. Because when people don't like you, they will do anything to throw you under the bus. When they have a hatred, bitterness, jealousy, envy, and for what reason? Because your light is shining, because you're beautiful, because you are creative, because you are wonderful, because you have that humanity, that love, that humbleness about you. Yeah, people don't like you for that. So what you gonna do? Join them? No. You keep doing what you do. Keep remembering the values that you were brought up with. And even if you weren't brought up with the values, you found it in the late half of your life, carry it with you. Because you are doing a service for yourself. You don't know who you could help along the road. You don't know who will need that guidance, that word of encouragement to keep going. I was a worry person. I was a crybaby. Every little thing. Crying. Not now. Not now. But in my early years, because I didn't know how to navigate stuff. I didn't know how to get through stuff. Because it was so much. It was so much to bear. You know, yesterday, there was this page on TikTok, and they shared this video of a woman crying. The woman crying, and I cried too with her because I understood what she's talking about. And a lot of people will understand what she's trying to say, and a lot of people are going to be negative towards her. Oh, why you come out on social media crying like a child? Well, you's a big woman. Hello? If you're a woman, if you have a heart as a woman, woman feels pain and woman knows what it is we go through on a daily basis as a woman. And sometimes the burden and the pain are so much that you can't carry it. You can't carry it. You are lost within that pain, that struggle. Your tears falling on the ground, nothing is catching it. It's falling into that ground, that wherever you're crying, it's just falling down. Nothing to catch it. So if you're a woman and you understand what a woman goes through, especially a single parent, you will understand, or try to understand. And you wouldn't try to belittle or make this woman feel bad. She's already in a situation. Why make her feel bad? It doesn't matter. She wanted to vent. She wanted to cry out. She wanted somebody to hear her cry. And I felt it for her. That moved me so much. That moved me so much. Tears came to my eye. I cried with her too. And I think they gave you, I'm sorry that I will have to see if I could find the video again, because they have a link if you want to help this woman. I don't care. I would help her. Because nobody knows where they will end up. Nobody knows this journey, this life. Nobody knows. And women need to be more sympathetic, more understanding, more courteous, more loving, more kind towards each other. Why do we hurt each other as women? Why do we bring down each other as women? And entertain the petty stuff. The petty stuff. I have to call it the petty stuff. We are bruised every day. We suffer every day. And the sufferation may not come as a health issue or anything. It comes from pain. It comes from the values of life. It comes from our homes, from our families, children, the work, the job, the boss. We suffer every day. We might be going to a job that we don't even like. Because we have to deal with so much. And plus we have to take care of a family, feed them. But yet still, we have to deal with the ones who want to bring us down. Yet still, we have to deal with that, an extra added on to what we're already going through. So that woman that was crying, I understood what she's going through. Because I have been there too. You have nobody to call, nobody to reach out to, nobody to hear your cry, nobody to hear your plea, your voice, no one. Because you have tried before, you have reached out before, you have called before, you have touched base before, and you got the help, you got everything worked out at that time, and then you go back again. You may get the help again, and then you go back again. And then at some point in time, the people you're reaching out to will get fed up. They will get fed up of you. Until they start to call your name. Until they start to reject you. Why? Rejection is always never easy. Especially when it comes from people who you love. So, it's all about trying to be a better person, a better woman. Because at the end of the day, we are mothers, we are creators, we are earth, we are humanity, we are humble, we are chosen. We are crossroads and pathways and passages. We are bending backs. We are embracing, fellowshipping, learning, loving, kind. We are that and so much more. We are the air that breathes. We are the trees, the wind that howl. We are God's creation. So the way He created us, we should try and instill the moments of peace and love and care for each other. It's not always an easy thing to do. Because when you're amongst the wolves in sheep clothing, you still have to show love despite of what. You still have to care. You still have to share. You still have to have a heart. Because it's so easy to get caught up with the masses and the ignorance and the bitterness. It's so easy to get caught up when it comes to relationship, when it comes to children, when it comes to valuing yourself when you don't even know how to do it. Because as much as some people got the value, some people didn't. And sometimes as women, we carry on the hurts and pains of the childhood. And the childhood is still living in us. The childhood is still being abused all over again. And we are not dealing with that. That's why we cry. So we got to take care of the childhood in us sometimes. I had to do that. And sometimes you just talk to your childhood self. Find ways and means to heal. To heal your part, because it will only lead to more pain. And it takes time. It takes time. To really sit down and examine self and really think about the things that happened, that transpired, that brought you to this part, and you go back into your circle, into your mind, you go back. Sometimes I do that, but I just smile. I just smile. Sometimes the memories could be good. The memories could be bad. But sometimes you take one thing that can resonate a smile, something that happened, something that you grow into, something that you remember, that transformed your mind to that place, that space, that time, that you can see what it is and really enjoy for that moment. We are never perfect. But what we can try to do is live in a world that is so destructive when it comes to the mind, when it comes to our needs, when it comes to our hope and our belief and our feelings and our everything else, relationship, this, that, because we so want to be appreciated. We so want to be loved. We so want to be cared for. But you got to do that self first. You got to wake up self and find the tools that can really help self move along. Not only for you, but for your family, for your kids, for, you got to deal with you. It's never an easy journey. And it's never an easy journey, for self reconstructing. It's just like one step at a time to bring yourself to that place of understanding who you really are and knowing who you are. So my thing is, before I wrap up, always try to see the beauty in yourself. Don't fall for the ills of other people's demise. Always try to be hopeful. Believe that you can achieve and win for self. And for everyone that comes in connection with you. Don't change who you are to be who they are. Don't ever do that. You are unique and you're special. You were created with the blessings of God and the blessings of self, to see self higher than how you see yourself. Because God chose you. You're chosen. And you're here for such a time as this, because you should have been gone after all that you've been through, all the battles. You didn't bound to be here, but you're here still. So you are chosen and you're still fighting. So keep fighting. Keep fighting and standing strong for who you are. And don't let nothing deter you from walking in your fullness, in your greatness. Don't let nothing deter you to stand strong and believe that you're beautiful and wonderfully made. You keep letting that light shine. You came from a woman, from a mother. And she represented. No matter what. Don't think about the bad. Don't think about whatever. She represented. Because you're here today. Whoever it was that raised you, they represented for you. They must have instilled some good value in you. So hold on to that little piece. Hold on to that little piece. And let it rest in your soul and your spirit. As you walk through life, as you deal with situations, always remember that piece, that value. Don't let it stray you. Don't think about joining the other side to be validated. No, you will just end up in more mess and more hurts and more pain. Be true to you and who you are. You understand? Because they will always come. They will always come. All right? So you gotta rise and shine like the true gem that you are, you know? Because you are that gem. You are that gem God created you to be. It's never easy, but continue to work on self, continue to be the best version of self, and continue rising high. And remember the values that you were once brought up with. Hold on to it dearly. All right? It will go a long way. So that's my life. And I hope it was a blessing. I hope you all got some sort of take on it. And that you could take from it. Whatever or wherever you are right now, it will help in moving forward. All right? So like I always say, let the rays of the sun shine through your heart. Let it bring joy, peace, and love to others. Continue shining, continue being beautiful. Today is Sunday, a new week has begun. So what's the plan for the week? What you're going to instill, what you're going to do, write it down. See where you're heading, see where you're going, and make that stand, that choice for you. Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else. All right? And trust God and trust the process He has you on. He will not lead you wrong. Okay? So, bye for now. Take care.